Welcome to Maf Garage, guys. It's been a few days since I've spoken to you, and it's more because I've been, like I said, twiddling my thumbs, and also when I lost out on Overtaking Lane, it was like, damn it, I really wanted that Lambo ride. Congrats, Scotty, by the way. I mean, you beat the brain dead Muppet, so there's not much I could do. But it does clear up one of the distractions I've been having week in, week out. So every week I've been sort of breaking myself to prepare myself for these trivia things. I had one shot because I knew I had the Crustida to do, and I thought, while the getting's good, while I'm riding a wave of luck, let's do it, you know? So now we step forward a few days, and I've cleared that out. I've had a lot of stuff come in, and let me show you what's come in. First off, I've got my first piece of the engine. That's my 850cc injectors. And also, like I said last episode, I was going to give a big shout out to the company when the stuff arrived. And here it is right now. So here's all my parts here, and I want to give a big shout out to Moog. No, not the guy from Mighty Car Mods that drives a refrigerator. This Moog. These guys were able to service my needs. What we've got here are a pair of lower control arms for an MX-83 Crustida. Well, Crustida, but Crustida in this case. And these guys literally saved my ass. If they didn't come with this, my front end was done. And it was game over. Now, mind you, the shipping wasn't really the best. I mean, broken box, so it wasn't really nice on the throw around on the plane and stuff, but at least it's here. So let's open it up and have a look. So here we go, guys. Box is open. A bit rough in transport. You can see the plastic's ripped. And that was from the box there. I've just smashed it open. But look at this, guys. Holy yum. I'll take this out of plastic in a second. But that's a sealed unit, so it's already got grease in the ball joint. That's good. I don't have to worry about getting grease for it. And brand new castle nuts. And yep, tube and that. So all I have to do is use the OEM free bolt and the nut, and should be able to mount it. Now let's go to the other package here. Straight from good old Adelaide. I'll put you guys down for a second. There we go. What have we got? Got a little packaging. And inside here, I might get the old man to help me here. Gonna slice that open, or rip it open. I'm going to show the ladies and gents here. Rip it open. There we go. So let's lay it out. And each individual one's wrapped like crazy too. Jesus Christ. Alright guys, I'll just see if I can open one without it being nuts. Here we go. There we go. These are my 850cc injectors. These are made to bolt straight into the factory fuel rail. Same pin connectors, no problems whatsoever. So I don't need to change fuel rails, I don't need to go through all the big drama that Trolvo had to go through with its fuel system. I'm very blessed in that sense. I mean, God, imagine I had to go out there and in that heat and do the fuel system right now. I mean, it's 35 degrees right now and it's absolute stinking hot and humidity. So we've got our injectors, we've got our lower control arms. Now that we've got the lower control arms, springs, struts, that means we've got our whole front end ready. And then also, as I showed you guys last episode, I'm just going to bring this up onto the table. Here is our fully done arm. I've done it on the left side only because I've still got the other knuckle here, the other steering knuckle, over on Crustida, and I've got to take that off and do the same thing as this. So my next couple of days are really focusing on the left side and making sure it all bolts up together, works, and in the meantime go out there, grab the other steering thing and bring that back to 2020 spec. So as you can see here, I managed to get the washer on and I've got the nut on. Now, I took a little bit of paint off it, but I'm not going to really whinge too much about that, especially when this is all perfect now. And that is greased up and pushed together, and it's everything that I needed. Now compare that to what it was when I first got that out of the car. That is a world of difference. Alright, so we've got our other chassis mount here, and I thought I'd demonstrate how I got the first one together. Now, when I first did the research on this, there was only one article on the internet, and that article actually told me that I had to mount this onto the car before I did any bushing mountings. So like, I had to install the bushings here, but to install the lower control arms, what he called it, it's really the trailing arms, but to install them you had to have it on the car. I was like, okay. And then the other thing he said was it was a two-person job, and I'm like, no, I don't have two people, it's only me. So that goes straight out the window. So how was I going to do it? Well, I took a bit of his instruction and then combined it with a bit of ingenuity. So we've got this trailing arm here, we've kept the washer on just like the other one, okay? And now we're going to put this in, and slide this in, and we'll go through. There we go. Now the same thing happened last time, where I haven't got enough thread to be able to mount that up properly. Oh, I might be lucky this time. I wasn't able to with the other one. I had to actually press it together a lot harder. Proves I've got a better snug fit with the second one. So all I need to do now is get a little ratchet, and I've got a 24mm on here now. Of course, originally when I took this off it was 22mm, but I now have a mil of undercoat and a mil of paint on it. So we've put the 24 on here, and all we're just going to do, screw the thread on, screw the nut on the thread, there we go. There we go. Just going to do a couple more threads here. As you can see, it drops down. So just going to make sure got this. Now what it's doing, here is pushing these two bushings together as well. So I've got a couple of little more notches to go, because I want it at the same thread level. You can see, I'm going to keep it held up. Now this will drop down again. No, move it a bit more. So as you can see here, once again I'm just taking a little bit of paint off the end there. You can see the undercoat, big whoop. But that is fully mounted. See, and it still has the flexibility to move. I'll just bring it back half a turn, because that's how the other one is. Just push that. There we go. Should be enough. Yep, that's flush. Things around on the side. You can see it's just line ball with the nut itself. Haven't gone over. And I'm going to take his over the other side too. I'll show you the other one that we've got on the table here. You can see the exact same there. It's just line ball. So it's the same tightness and it's got the same flexibility, and now they're both put together. We can mount that, finally get this car down. You guys don't understand the frustration I've had to go through with this just to make sure that this whole front end is together. So it's a new day, guys, and I was just about to install the stuff, but Postman's just turned up, and I've got another gift. We have got a big, big box here. I know I've ordered a fair bit of stuff, but let's have a look at what it is. Let's give it a razor. Just want to rip the bag itself. Nothing else. Don't put you guys down again. We've got a box. What's in the box? Arr! Arr! Wolf ECU. Welcome to the magic show, boys. So this is what I'm fighting fire with. I mean, wow. I just want to grab it and touch it and, yeah, do nasty things to it. Like install it in my car and start getting this going. Wow. Wow, guys. I'm just amazed at this. This is going to be awesome. Wolf ECU, 850cc injectors. You figure that with some 2867s, and I haven't even started yet. I've got some more plans. Well, Scotty, you said it was good news, but not for me. I think it's not good news for you. So, we'll go to the next stage and get this front end on. I'm blown away by the fact that these parts now started arriving thick and fast, and I'm still waiting on the collectors and some piping, and yeah, all of it's coming. So fingers crossed. Fingers crossed. I've got to get them crossed. But yeah, fingers crossed that I've got them here in the next week or two, because yeah, the push to get this car finished starts now. Alright guys, we've got our next package. It's arrived this week. This one comes from JS Tuning. Now I already know what this one is for sure. This is the link to all my issues with the exhaust. So there's fingers. There we go. Open up a bit more. Let me put this down for a sec. There we go. What have we got here, Maf? Ladies and gents, we have got ourselves a 3-into-1 collector. So you can see the 1 there, 2, and 3. And of course, here's the side. Gotta have 2 of them. So, what I will do is have a look at these and see what I can do. I might style these up a little bit more. I mean, you can see the metal there. That's from the welding. It looks like a decent weld. So I'll see what high temp I can put on it and see what mad colour I can do. And separate to that, we also have a pair of T25 flanges. So I'm going to slide this out. Ting ting. There we go. 1 and 2. Alright, so I've just come back from the mechanics, and we have freshly pressed and greased bearings in the wheel hub. So there are both my front ones done. All I have to do is just pop the rubber out of that and then like plier it or whatever. Just have to get it out and then slide that onto the wheel hubs and knock those wheel nuts onto it, and we're good to go. So that is, let's go in order here, guys. Let's go in order. So we've got the wheel hubs, we've got the chassis mount with the trailing arm. Okay, you have a trailing arm, rotors, brakes, the sway bar down here. I've actually weighed this. This old one is actually 2 kilos lighter than this one. So just to let you guys know, if you want 3 mils thicker on your sway bar, you're going to have to give yourself an extra 2 kilos of weight, because that'll go from, I think it was 4.8 to 6.8 kilos from memory. So you've got that, the sway bars, and the sway bar linkage there. Like that's sway bar rubbers. Sway bar linkage is here from Wasp. The struts fully done. Brake lines. Springs. Struts. Lower control arms. Guys, I think that's all the parts are done. Organised, bought, paid for. Just got to fit it now. So, not much to go. So it's time to get these lower control arms on, and I was struggling because I completely forgot, but if you look back a few episodes, I was trying to take them off before with the old 1/2 inch air ratchet. So as you remember, I was using this for everything, and I couldn't get the lower control arm bolts off. Just not enough oomph in it.
Now, these are rated at 230 Newton meters, which is about 170 foot-pounds, quite easy. And it didn't budge the lower control arm bolt. And then when I checked the actual torque settings, it said it was only 121 foot-pounds.
So that presented a problem. Why wasn't it budging when I certainly had enough power to be able to deal with the bolt? So I've turned around, headed back off to Bunnings,
And I went and picked myself up a new rattle gun. This is a Ryobi airless, and picked it up for just under $100 at Bunnings.
but the good thing about this is it's got 540 Newton meters, which is about 400 foot-pound, and as you can see here, it works. Actually got the lower control arm to drop. So I'm just going to remove the bolt, and we're going to start putting this side on, and I've got to still take the ball joint mount off there and de-rust that, and then I can also take this lower control arm off.
I thought it was a standard nut and bolt here, but I was mistaken. So if I can get the camera around on this side, you can see where it was just resting against it, and the bolt was doing all the work. So when I remount this, I'm going to have to push that over, make sure the bolt threads through a little bit, and then I'll be able to start hammering it in that way. So yeah, another little surprise that the car throws at me.
How is this not popping off? Like, the other one popped off with half the strength. Oh, Maf is an idiot. I have to loosen this all the way back up. Ooh. Let's touch that. Oh, really? Really? Oh, you're kidding.
Of all this, fix my hair up here. Of all the stupid ass luck that happens to me, look at this.
Jesus freaking Christ, man. How the hell does that happen? Oh, that is frustration supreme now. I am pissed. I managed to knock it off. But look at the nut here, guys. It has literally gone over and crushed the metal here. And it's all the nut. It's all the way around. What the hell? The other one didn't do this. The other one was just straight off. Like, I can show you this, guys. It's the exact same thing. And you look at the castle nut here. It didn't collapse like that. What the hell? Alright, I'm going to try and take it off this one, because I know it worked with it once, so I'm going to put it onto the other side and try and get it off with this nut, because, yeah, that shit no bueno. So the lower control arms are gone, but this is a pain in my ass. Look how close that is to getting off, and then look at the other side here, and then watch as it spins on itself when I do stuff. It's like, why? It's so close. So in the morning I'll just cut this nut off and remove this. But because I've had to turn this around a few times, now my steering is out of whack. So I don't know how bad it's out of whack, but it's definitely going to be out of whack. So the next morning hit, and as you can see around here, we have monsoon clouds everywhere. So you got to pick and choose your times when you got to get out and get this stuff done. So you can see here, got it off. Just bring it a nut. Completely smashed her apart on both sides. So I went, come on, focus a bit. So I grabbed the Dremel, hit it on this side, hit it on that side, then grabbed the hammer and chisel and smacked her off, and now we've got that on there, and I'm going to do the whole steering arm, but that's okay. Got the steering parts en route to the house, as I said yesterday. So now we'll go back inside. And then over here, we've got the ball joint mount here. Just going to quickly take this back and bring it back to the same spec as that. And then I've also got the lower control arm bolts here. And as I was saying, this is the mount. You can see how the nut is, and it's actually part of that mount. So I thought it was a freestanding nut, but very mistaken. But I'm going to take these back, and look how crusty this is. Ew. That is some of the worst. Right, see, you can just spin it on the nut. So I'll get these done, get the other thing done, and we're good to go. Alright, so we're going to do a speed run with this. Let's see how we go here. You can see all full crusted up, rusted up. Let's see if I can get this back to metal in 5 minutes. 3, 2, 1. 10-second break. That's fast on. Didn't think of it. Safety first. And that's 5 minutes. Not bad for a 5-minute run, ladies and gentlemen. So, swap it over to the other side, another 5 minutes, another 5 minutes each one. Should basically have this all done. So, yeah, I'll keep going to this and I'll show you guys the result. So here we have the ball joint mount all done there, on all sides. Quick half-hour work there, and as I started with these two, you can see the huge difference with all the crust on that one versus all the crust removed on that one. It's the same on this side too. So you can see it's all good there. But on this side, it's all crusty and yucky. So just got to do that one, and I'm thinking of painting these in Shockwave just to keep the theme going. I mean, there's no other real choice. I could do black, but it just makes it look like grease and grime, and not like a little bit of showmanship in mine. And now they're both done, so all we have to do is paint and prep now. Alright, so here is the final piece of the puzzle. Remember way back when I cut the brake line here because I couldn't get rid of this? Well, what I'm going to do is grab good old Dremel and I'm going to cut it off under here and just cut basically that whole nut off, and hopefully that will separate and allow me to get to this. Yeah, this is not going to be fun, and I hope I don't set myself or the car on fire because it is a brake line, and I think the brake system is drained, but yeah, who knows. But if I don't do this, there's no progress. Okay, so you see me with the safety glasses on, and it's because I've been trying to get this brake line off, and I'm done. I'm absolutely done. I'll show you what I've done. So I have snapped my proverbial lolly and decided to cut the whole thing off. I'm done. I'm going to just get a new hard line made for this side. It's just the amount of struggling and BS I've had to go through. Nah, I'm done. I'm done. To this. Just The frustration ends. So here we have the first pieces mounted back on. As you can see, they're pretty good with the bushings there and the washer. Screwed up the nut a little bit, but you know, beggars can't be choosers. Might tighten that up just a little bit because compared to that side, it's not as brilliantly tight. But if you come around here, look at the difference. God, that's going to be brilliant sticking into that lower control arm with the new one. I can't believe this is coming together, guys. It's awesome. Alright, so it's a new day, the next day, and I was getting everything ready for all the suspension and that. So guys saw all the chassis mount put together, and I went to put on the sway bar, and then I realised I did step 2 before I did step 1. Step 1 was supposed to be me putting the sway bar into the chassis mounts and then put the chassis mount onto the car. So this is the situation. So as you can see, back off the car, here's the chassis mount, same over the other side. I'll take you guys inside the Maf Garage. I haven't been filming through today because it's just been absolutely bedlam. Alright, so I'll come over here and this is what's happened. Now I've got the sway bar in the hole here, and that was an effort to even get it in there. If I'm going to show you guys, I've literally got a millimetre of space on the top side, or on the bottom side, what that is. These bolts that came out of it for the mounts are causing me grief. So, as you can see here, I've got this with a double washer on it now, but as you can see there, I'm just free spinning. I'm not even grabbing on the thread there. See, it's just rolling around in there. So, this bolt is now probably 10mm too short, which presents a problem because I've now got to find a tapered end bolt like this that's about, I'll put this down, it's probably about that much longer, so probably about 5, maybe 10mm. But at least the bushings here have been greased up, it's sitting in place, at least I know what my issue is there. So that's the only reason these are back off, otherwise this would all be bolted up right now. I've got to work out to get the bolts here. But on the flip side, I have now started working on the steering. So as you can see, still got all the parts here, but I'm still picking up more parts. So you can see here I've got my steering rack boots, and the reason I'm doing that, I'm doing new
rack boots, rack ends, and tie rod ends. Because when I'm driving this damn Crustida at Rocky Nats, guaranteed I don't want anything to snap. You know, the main thing about this is having safety. You know, we all want to be safe when we're racing, be it with roll cages or other safety equipment, harnesses, fire suits and all that. But a lot of people forget about just the straight mechanics of a car and whether parts are good enough to use again or reuse, or whether you need to replace everything. And these steering rack boots are part of that reason. I mean, if you're going to leave rubbers alone for a decade, they're going to obviously degrade and fall apart in some way, shape or form. So when you do that, you need to make sure that everything's tip top. And if you're not sure about it being tip top, go and replace it. You know, it's no excuses not to replace it, because at the end of the day, you're not only putting your life in danger, you're putting the other racer's life in danger. And that is unacceptable. So for me, as a racer, as a person, and just someone with effing common sense, you know, it's sensible just to go out there and fix all the things that are needed to be fixed. So that's why I've gone through all the descaling and rust prevention and all the other things on the things that could be saved, or the things that I couldn't really replace, but I had to try and recover. But anything else that I could replace or can replace, I am replacing, because at the end of the day, I don't want to be halfway down this straight at 140, 160 k's an hour, have something snap or break on me, and then all of a sudden the car goes bang into Trolvo, or goes bang into a wall or a crowd or whatever. You know, just there's so many possibilities that can go wrong when you're actually having a proper drag race like this. So many people look at this and it's like, oh, it's drag racing. All you have to do is hold the wheel straight. Newsflash for you people, you obviously haven't driven a car with more than 200 horsepower in your life. I've known people with 220 horsepower VNSSs and Maloo Utes that are 30 years old, almost as old as mine. And even when they were brand new, 92, 93, 94, all it took was one clutch kick and one turn of the wheel the wrong way. And bang, car's written off. You know, it's just, you think you got it right. It's just like, oh yeah, I'm going like this, you know, and slamming it through. The force from that can kick the car out. And if you're not correcting it, and if you're not paying attention to those things, what's going to happen? Your car's going to get written off. And it happens with all other things, like fluids, all the other things that could possibly go wrong. So it's unacceptable for me to not go out there as safe as possible. And also one last thing here, I've also done these little control arm bolt mounts. So you can see I've got a bit of blue overspray on the bolt, but I'll just take that back and give it a bit of rust prevention. And yeah, whack it back in there, and she should be good to go. But at least these things are looking better than what they were a couple of days ago. So it's a bit hard to film when the whole family's around the house. So I've been doing work off camera, and I'll show you guys what I've been doing. So we're over here at Struts, and I've got the new struts put in. As you can see here, a little bit of a mark from using the pipe wrench on it, but not much I can do there. And as you can see, the strut packet's gone. Then over on this side, I've been having little issues. You can see that's all still in one spot. It's because I've been trying to move these washers, and as you'll see, even while smashing it, does not move the washer. So I'm going to have to cut these off. That's not a problem. I thought, alright, go out and get the new washers first before I cut them off. So I go out and buy a packet of washers. Unfortunately, I bought the wrong stupid size. Did I tell you guys how hot it is here at the moment? 38.5. That is 100 in the old scale. So
This is a effort's hot moment right now. Ugh. And once again, I've got to go out and get some more parts. So I've got back home. I've got the right 8mm washers this time. Focus. There we go. And when I arrived home, I've got a fresh box here, which I can almost guarantee will be my steering rack ends. So, it was perfect timing because I'm just about to bolt this front end up, so yeah, I can now start doing the steering at the same time. Awesome. So I've been trying to work this out, and I've discovered something I can do to get this stupid spring washer off. Now, I'm going to need to get both hands off to do this, but basically what I do is get the screwdriver there, and then I smack it with a mallet, and I've been knocking it down. As you can see, I've actually, if I can find this stupid thing, I've already got one of them off, and I've got the new washer in, so that's ready to go. I'll bolt that down and it should be good. So I'm just going to keep going with this one. So what I'm going to do is put you down like this and rest you against me, and that way you can see what I do here. So I've got it near the end of the thread, and now what I do is put it up into the old bracket hole, and then put that there. As you can see, I'm just holding it one-handed first, so I know I've got my spot. A bit more. So look. I'll move the hole now. There we go. That's one removed 30-year-old washer off that damn chassis mount. It's a hard bit of work. I mean, that's sweat coming off me trying to get this off. It's frustrating. Yay, finally got them all off. So I've got 1 more, 2 more, 3 more. Oh God, actually turn it around. Yeah, that's going to sit better. Let's get them over into that, and let's get this into the car. Finally. Here they are, they're fully bolted in now. Same on this side. And it's still flexible enough though. Moves the sway bar. Just a little bit of hold with the chassis arm there. The same on this side. See? So a little bit of movement on both chassis, so it's got some nice stiffness there. And a bit of stiffness here from the sway bar. This thing is gonna be nuts. The stability on the front end is gonna be full on. So I had a bit of a brainstorm, and rather than struggle with it on the car, I figured I'll put the steering knuckle on the lower control arm first, and then bolt the lower control arm to the car, which then means 2 jobs in 1 done. So I've got it on there, and amazingly it's just sat on the ball joint, and I haven't had to really press it on. So I'm a little bit uneasy about it. So I'll be honest about this, because every time I've done a lower control arm in all my years, it's always get the press, couple of tons of pressure, and then it'll eventually jam on. But this literally, I just was like, pump, and it jammed on. I was like, what? This type of luck doesn't happen to me. So this is the left side one there.
And the right one I'm just about to do because I've got the knuckle being, well, it's painted and I've just got it drying right now, so I'll just walk up to it. So let's just go around the outside so it doesn't sit properly. As you can see there, all the sparkle, all the shine. And I still haven't even put the clear coat on it yet, so it's going to be really nice, this one. So I was about to mount the chassis mount and the sway bar and everything, and I'm like, why am I mounting it onto all this grime and crap? Why would I do that with brand new parts? I mean, I was starting to do it, and then I'm like, what am I thinking? I've got to be an absolute moron. So I started cleaning up. And I'll show you underneath. Started cleaning up. See, it's not all there yet. But have a look on the other side when I take you over there. Now that is a completely different ball game. I've taken all the crap off, all the built up grime, and now I'm starting to see paint patches and removing the grease. And this is like combined weight reduction plus cleanup. I mean, look at all the crap that's come off the car. Some of it is just the crap that's come off the car, and the rest of it, this big pile, is breadcrumbs that have been mixed in with a bit of spilled oil there because I dropped the oil for the first time in 11 years on this motor. And let me show you a little sample I've poured into this. I'm just going to pour it, but as you can still see, it's quite brown, quite viscous, no water. You can see it's just air bubbles, there's no fragments and no other BS in it. So here's a little update. I am covered in dirt all over my legs. Same here. And it's for very good reason. If I come down, let's show you. I've got to be in my bonnet about that cleaning with the lower control arms. So when I say I've got to be in my bonnet, I mean I've got to be in my bonnet. You might call this cleaning, I'm now officially calling this weight reduction. Look how much I've got to take off. So as you can see, there is actually white paint there, and then a bit of dirt, and then all this crust all over it. Put in the comments how many kilos you think I'm going to lose out of this car just from removing all this dirt and crap out of every corner and crevice. I'm thinking at least 30, 40 kilos. So 10 kilos per corner. I mean, this is only just part of it, so you got to think I've got all the way underneath as well along the car. I've got under the bonnet, and also, like you can see there, just bits on that side. It's getting clean under the bonnet as well. So there's a lot of weight to take off with this dirt, and you can already see it's already going everywhere. I've used 3 cans of brake cleaner on it. Still got another 2 there. Should be able to take a whole heap off. I've developed a little bit of OCD with this cleaning. Have a look at this. So on this side, we've got the strut tower here. But on this side,
we have no strut tower here. As because you guys have given me the OCD to clean all the way through here. And now when I'm looking up, there's a whole section there, cleaned all around the strut tower there. So while I'm doing that, and I've got the strut tower out, it's giving me this OCD. So I thought, alright, clean up the strut tower. And there's all the remains of what I was doing, because the strut tower was already finished here. Taken back, primed, painted, clear coated, and separated. So there isn't any BS on it. All I've got to do is just wipe this down and it'll be fully clean. So I'll do that with the other one, but this is all the left side together. So what we're going to do with this is get some spring compressors and compress these together. Just enough so I can then put this top on and then put the strut tower top on. And then we can finally mount everything. Ladies and gentlemen, we have one side on. So we've got the sway bar, the strut, the chassis mount, lower control arm, and the steering knuckle. And a big shout out to Kyle, because if it wasn't for him, my ass certainly wouldn't have got this done. Yeah, of course it's going to start raining, and use this nice little monsoon shower as I'm mid install. Got the left side done, but I've still got the right side to do. This sucks. And now we've got the driver's side done, and just in time too, because once again bloody monsoon storms rolling in. It's like every time I'm getting out for the morning and during the day, I'm doing my work, and then just as I'm finishing, I'm copping these goddamn storms above me. So I'll probably wait for this storm to get past and then get into the next bit, which is installing the struts. So I'm just getting the second strut tower top ready, as you can see. Fully done on that side. I'm just finishing this off around here. I've been the usual mask up, paint prep. Okay. Alright, so we're all sanded down and prepped, ready to paint. You can see, done on both sides. So let's get to it. Use the primer, then the paint, and then the clear coat over there. Here it is, nicely primed. Let it dry, hit the other side. So one of the most dangerous and important parts of rebuilding the suspension is getting the springs onto the struts. The reason why it's one of the most dangerous things is you can cause yourself some serious injury and potentially being fatal if you do it and hits you in the wrong spot. So there are plenty of guides out there to show you how to compress springs properly. All you have to do is just search for it on YouTube, just how to compress springs, and there's probably 100 guides out there. So what I'm going to do is get these springs compressed. So I've got 5 coils here, and I've got my spring compressor kit there. Now it's a little bit different where I haven't really got anything to affix the strut to. So what I'm going to do is take this out just like it's there. I just wanted to see which way to go in first. So as I can see here, that end goes straight into the corner here, which is your bump stop at the bottom. And then I've got bump stops at the top,
with the rubbers and the top plates. So I've got to compress this spring down so then I can fit the top plate on, and as you can see on the top plate as well, there's a groove here which we want that end of the spring to go into, and then the top plate as well, which is outside at the moment because I've got that drying in plate cleaner at the moment. Make sure it hasn't been taken. I haven't looked today. Yep, there she is. So I'll get that piece and put that on top of these plates and put it all together, and then we'll mount the strut and the whole unit as one piece into the car. And here we have both strut top towers done, and we've packed them full of grease, so they're ready to mount onto both struts. So I've been bitching and whinging and struggling, but I've managed to do it. There is one spring compressed there, and here is the second one just been finished. And as you can see there, I've already got the top bolted on, the plate, here's the spring, still compressed, so just got to get this 21mm here underneath and just start undoing it, and you only do it one turn each side and release it. So since that's done, we can now take them out and install them on the car. Yay! So after a lot of struggling, we have finally got the strut bolted in and ready to go. So let's do the final thing, which is turning this jack handle and releasing all the weight. And she holds. There we go. Oh, so that's one side done, all complete. Let's jump on the other side and get that done. But before I do that, we've still got one more piece to put on, and that's the sway bar linkage up to the strut there. So I'm going to go grab that and put that on. And now we've got the other side on. So you can see strut top put in, bolted up. Everything except the sway bar has been done. Oh, finally getting some progress in this. So here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The brake rotor is on. The wheel hub is on. Let me show you the wheel hub there. And end up getting new bolts there for the back of the bracket here because I did not trust the old ones. So as you can see here, 355mm on the strut. I've got the wheel nuts on there just to make sure that the rotor doesn't slide off at the moment. So now I'll mount the caliper and we'll go from there. So there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. She is bolted up. Calipers, rotors, wheel hubs, everything. All we got to do is slap some wheels on it, hook this sway bar linkage together, and we're good to go. Let's do this. So I've just finished the front end on the car, and look at this, guys. Holy crap. This is a bomb cyclone. It's literally developed here in the past 20 minutes. I literally just got the hubs on and everything else, and this is just hit. Wow. The car gods are pissed off that I've finished the front end. So if the car gods are pissed off at me, imagine what everyone else is thinking. Anyway, guys, that's it from me. This is the Maf Garage. I've actually made it to double digits on the episodes. So we've got just over 4 months to go. The road to Rocky Nats is on. Next episode, we start off pushing this bastard in the garage and start the engine work. So, in the meantime, have a look at the finished front end. Catch you guys. Peace.